Tom Candiotti shutting out the Giants on 4 hits in this ball game. 3 flyouts, 10 groundouts, 5 strikeouts, and he's been getting the strikeouts more often than not with his breaking ball. We'll see a knuckler here to JT Snow earlier in the ball game. Comes back with a hard slider to Rick Wilkins later in that inning. Big overhand curveball to Stan Javier. And the last out. Big, slow, non-spinning knuckleball to get Jeff Kent. Changing speeds very well on all of his pitches today.
And it adds up to a 4-hit shutout through the first 6 innings for Candiotti. Karros to open things against Poole with a 7-0 Dodger lead in the 7th, and it's 2-0. Boy, the depth of this Dodger pitching staff often overlooked. There had been rumors that Candiotti would be traded in the not too distant future. He wants a trade. Nothing against the Dodgers. He's just not all that crazy about going to the bullpen this season.
The knuckleball is such an unpredictable pitch. From day to day, you may have a good one. The next time you go out there, you may not have a good one. As a relief pitcher, you like to have something in your back pocket that you know you can get people out with. And if the knuckleball happens to not be there on a given day, you have to go to plan B. And Candiotti certainly has a plan B. He uses that big overhand curve and the slider, as we've seen in the ball game today. But normally he wants to go at people with that knuckleball.
3-2 now to Karros, who will be followed by Mondesi and Garcia. 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 6th for the Dodgers. And there's ball 4 to Karros. Well, we showed you the National League earlier. And now our Pepsi All-Star balloting update. In the American League, not too shabby here either. Griffey Jr., the leading vote getter in either league, flanked by Justice, a longtime Brave, and Brady Anderson. Ripken at third base, no surprise. Rodriguez on the DL at short, Alomar at second, and Tino at first. Edgar the DH. And your guy.
My guy.
Ivan Rodriguez.
Maybe the best player in all of baseball.
Well, you put a maybe in front of that sentence since Thursday. Mondesi a swing and a miss. You're his campaign director.
I just think that the guy doesn't get credit for what he does. The best throwing catcher in the game. Manages to carry an average that's just ridiculous. 330 plus every year. Drives in his 90 runs every year.
Yeah, but he made the last out of the game the other night.
Well, that's why I said maybe he's the best player in the game.
Breaking ball a little low.
Yeah, if you want to see your favorite players in that All-Star game, just make believe you're a voter in Cook County. Vote early, vote often.
That's in Chicago, for those of you that may not be aware. Heck, you can vote 6-7 years after you've moved on from this world. On the ground down to third. Tough play, and a good play made by Lewis. He throws out Mondesi at first for the first out of the inning. Well, we got the All-Star game here on Fox. Just had the Stanley Cup Finals. You have baseball. How about a little football? Tomorrow, the World Bowl. Championship. Future NFL stars, perhaps World Bowl 97 coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, right here on Fox.
Who do you like in a game between the Rhine Fire and the 49ers?
Boy, I really don't know.
You want to bet on it then? Because I do know.
Breaking ball low and away to Kareem Garcia. I don't know, Bobby. You play that game over on the Rhine Fire's home turf.
Well, you never know. I'll still take the Niners.
I think you might be right on that one. 1-0 and a high fly ball to straightaway center field. Javier coming in and makes the play. But Bobby, how about the Barcelona Dragons and the Rhine Fire? You have become quite the football aficionado.
Hey, I have been a Rhine Fire fan from the very get-go.
Well, you always do jump on the bandwagon.
No.
You've done that for years.
I liked the Rhine Fire when they were just the Rhine Spark.
Oh. From their infancy.
That's right. I'm not one of those Johnny-come-latelys. I've liked the Fire from the very beginning.
Here's Roger Cedeno, and that one got him. Fastball high and tight, and there's a little bad blood between these two teams, always has been. And Cedeno certainly added to the history of these two rivals last season.
Well, he stole third base in a game that was pretty much out of reach. The Dodgers were winning by a large margin, and Cedeno tried to steal third base and was confronted immediately by a sight that any rookie would not like to see, and that's Matt Williams standing at third base, scolding him, teaching him a little bit about baseball etiquette.
How about Trip Cromer today? Just called up from Albuquerque. Greg Gagne getting a day off after a long game last night, and Cromer 2 for 3 has knocked in 2 runs. Check swing and a miss.
Now, this is what you call a zoom ball. That ball got in there so quick he didn't have a chance to react. It had already put a wrinkle in his pants leg before he felt it.
1-1 delivery. And it's a strike to Cromer.
Well, it appeared to catch him in the thigh area. A lot of meat there.
Oh, there's not a lot there.
Well, on some guys there's a lot of meat right there.
1-2 now the count on Trip Cromer.
Cromer battled off a tough pitch right there from Jim Poole. Breaking ball down and in. That's a pitch a lot of times the right-hander will foul off of his ankle or his front foot.
And a fastball is high. Two on, 2 out. Dodgers lead 7-0. And it's ball 3 outside. Well, the only thing Tom Candiotti hasn't done today is collect a base hit. He's thrown a 4-hit shutout thus far, knocked in a run on a perfect suicide squeeze an inning ago. And he may have a chance to get his first hit with some people on. 3-2 runners go, and he will have that chance as they're loaded up. 2 walks and a hit batsman have loaded the bases for the Dodgers here off Jim Poole.
Well, base on balls is not only a problem for the starter Van Landingham, but Jim Poole has managed to pitch himself into quite a jam here in the 7th inning without the benefit of a base hit.
Candiotti has lined softly to left, flied to right in that suicide squeeze, which brought in a run. He's quickly down a strike. And you see Candiotti without a hit this season. Been pitching out of the bullpen entirely until today. 0-1 is on the outside corner, strike 2.
Poole has to stay on that outside corner against Candiotti. The Giants have swung around their defense towards right field. Don't want to take a chance of throwing anything on the inside part of the plate. Normally a pitcher's not able to pull a good fastball. But in this situation, Candiotti, he's smart enough he may cheat for something inside and try to hook it into left field.
Fastball high and a count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Poole continues to stay away. Well, with runners in scoring position, you have to pitch the pitcher like you would any hitter in that opposing lineup. You have to be very careful, try to make your pitches.
On the ground to short. And Vizcaino will get the force at second to end the inning. The Dodgers trying to bridge the distance between third and first. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 7-0. This game summary being brought to you by the good folks at 7-Eleven. Tom Candiotti has been the story on the mound, making his first start of this 97 season after 23 games out of the bullpen. See the Dodgers, when they've piled up the runs, they've done the same in the win column. And Trip Cromer, one of the surprising offensive stars today, wearing Dodger blue. It adds up to a 7-0 lead. Giants come to bat against Candiotti in the bottom of the 7th inning. See, it's been a long while, better than 2 years since Candiotti has tossed his shutout. JT Snow to lead it off, and he is quickly down a strike.
Well, Candiotti just continues to throw slower and slower every inning. Take a little more off the pitch. Get those hitters out in front. Gravity's going to take over pretty soon. The ball's not going to make it to home plate.
Strike 2.
There's almost an arc in that ball.
Get the arc out. Not today, says Candiotti. A long time joke around baseball batting practice circles, and there's strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And let's say hello to Chip Carey back in Hollywood for another Miller Time game break.
All right, Tommy, say goodnight to that 25 2/3 innings scoreless drought for the Orioles. B.J. Surhoff with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning knocks in Bordick, and another Baltimore runner streaks home. Brady Anderson as well, spoiling a great outing by Roger Clemens. Dan Plesac on the hook as the Orioles, leading the East, lead Toronto 2-1.
All right, Chip, thank you very much. One down here in the bottom of the 7th, and Lewis down a strike. And while we have a moment, I'd like to send out thoughts and prayers and best wishes to a man who is from the Los Angeles area, and I can say at least one of my favorite people I've ever met in all of baseball this season with the Baltimore Orioles. Eric Davis recently underwent surgery. They have found cancer in his body. And well, Eric, if you happen to be around the television watching the game today, wish you well, pal, and can't wait to see you back. And we know you're going to make it back. Cedeno in center makes the play.
Well, we talked about it earlier this week, Tommy, when Eric Davis broke into the major leagues. It was right here at Candlestick Park at the time, and boy, what a tremendous collection of talents he had. Tremendous speed, great outfielder, great throwing arm, and awesome power that belied his size. He was just a 6'2", 170 pounds, soaking wet, and drove the ball out of here to straightaway center field a couple times.
Well, Brett Butler knows about overcoming cancer. And now Eric Davis will follow in his footsteps into left center. Cedeno is there in a 1-2-3 inning. Butler out of the lineup today, but his team doing well without it.